Hi everyone, Joy here. Welcome back to Unleash Your Focus. And today we have John. John is an entrepreneur. He lives in the UK and he's basically known as the sales samurai. He's got a Facebook group and he's very popular in his Facebook group. And I cannot wait for him to share the value with us today. Hi John, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Joy. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much for agreeing on this interview. I really appreciate your time. So tell people a little bit about you, where you're from, where did you grow up, etc.
Yeah, well, I'm actually from the northwest of England, a town called Bolton. I stayed there until I was kind of in my early 20s. Had a lot of good friends and stuff. Did the usual stuff like partying and messing about and stuff when I was young. But I got to me sort of mid-early 20s and thought, my kind of job, my career wasn't really good, working out too well. I was in and out of different jobs and not really going anywhere. I didn't feel I was achieving anything. So I decided to go in the army. I spent a couple of years in the army. That was kind of, I took some really positive things out of it, but also you get some negatives. Like it's a difficult transition, and a lot of ex-military find this is the back into civilian life, or civic street as you call it. That was quite a struggle, and I did face some sort of difficulties and made some bad decisions when I came out, and really was a bit messed up, but managed to get myself together, and I kind of discovered sales and martial arts. I kind of missed the discipline a little bit. I didn't miss all the shouting and all that. I thought that was nonsense. Yeah. I missed the kind of discipline that you got from it. So I turned to martial arts, and that was probably the best move I could have done. So when I started martial arts, I was actually trained to be a karate instructor. I'd already done previously kind of boxing and stuff like that. I've always done like bits of different fight and stuff, but I kind of turned to karate about probably over 10 years ago now. But at the same time, I was doing door to door because I was learning to be a karate instructor, but I was also building the karate classes up at the same time. So wow. I was learning the sales skills by knocking on people's doors and signing them up to the karate classes. So I managed to, over about 5 years, I managed to get my black belt. Maybe 3 or 4 years. It was quite fast because I was training 5 or 6 times a week, whereas a student would only train once. So it takes a student a long time to get a black belt. But if you're trained to be an instructor, it's hardcore. So you can cut the time down quite a bit.
Nice. And is that how the Sales Samurai came about? Your combination of sales and karate?
Absolutely. Well, it isn't just karate. That was my kind of foundation. But then I've gone on to do other things. I've done sort of Filipino sticks, and I've trained with a guru called who does salat. So he does like lots of different weapons like machetes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't tend to train with the sharp ones. You have kind of blunt ones. But, yeah, you're not swinging like real blades at each other or anything like that. But so I've done that kind of stuff. But I've also done Muay Thai and I've done boxing as well. So I've got quite a nice mixture of different arts.
Nice. Is that fit? That's awesome. Okay, so when you left the army and you went on this adventure of your, karate and things like that, you were obviously doing sales for people at the time, right?
Sorry, when I did the karate?
Yes, the sales that you did it for a company exchange for lessons, or how did that come about?
Oh, right. So it was part of the kind of the setup that they had. It was, you would get the training for free. So I didn't have to pay for any of my belts or my grade or anything like that, but I was expected to build the classes up for the existing instructors. Okay. And then eventually the idea was that I'd start teaching the classes and somebody else would build them for me. But it came to the stage where where we're located in the country, it is really difficult to get a decent sized class. So what I was finding is when I was teaching, I was hardly even breaking even. So the cost of the hall wasn't even out with the amount of students I was teaching. So I had to, even though I enjoyed doing it, it wasn't sort of, it couldn't work financially really. So.
Yeah. Did you even think, like, as a child growing up, that you would actually have your own business?
It wasn't something that I ever, I wasn't, because you hear a lot of these sort of entrepreneurs that say, I was born into it. I was the lemonade stand and all this from 8 years old, and I was mowing lawns and blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't do any of that. I just thought I got to like my 30s and I thought, that's it, I've had enough, I'm changing direction. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken a lot of kind of life-changing lessons and stuff like that, and dedication. But I think what I found is that the martial arts helped with that, because it took dedication, it took passion, it took drive to get the grades, to
Yes.
get the belt. I mean, not everybody gets a black belt. It's quite unusual. It takes a lot of hard work. So
Yeah, and it's like even more unusual and very impressive that you've done it in like such a short period of time. So well done.
Thanks. Thank you.
What has been your biggest struggle in the last 5 years or so of your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, that biggest struggle. I think one of the struggles that I've had, and I guess a lot of people do, is kind of getting a name. I think branding is a massive part. I mean, you look at a lot of the sort of really well known and even famous sort of entrepreneurs. They've got a huge brand, and they've done a lot of marketing, and they've done a lot of putting themselves out there. So I think a difficult transition is going from unheard of to even slightly well known.
Yes, because it is hard to build up that attractive character. Now you've got a pretty engaging Facebook group, and I mean you're very active in your Facebook group. Is that something that you thought you'll have, like an active Facebook group and people engaging and you teaching people?
No, I mean, again, I guess it's sort of just trying different avenues, isn't it? I just thought, well, I mean, I might as well try this Facebook group thing, and I'm interested in coaches and entrepreneurs, and I thought, well, let's see if we can get people together and get. It wasn't really. Oh, I want to monetize this Facebook, and I want to make loads of money from people. It wasn't really like that. I just thought, let's get a community where people can share their ideas and do lives and talk to each other and discuss, and maybe they can get sort of clients and stuff. But it wasn't really my sort of factor or what I was trying to achieve from it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, because I find like a lot of people that start a Facebook group just for actually making money, and that's the wrong idea, because then you lose engagement, because people, it's like, okay, these people are just trying to sell me things all the time, I'm actually not going to be in this group, and then they lose all the engagements and they lose all the people, because they just don't have a nice Facebook group, because Facebook groups is about community, and you've built up yourself a pretty nice one. I would strongly recommend you guys go check out John's Facebook group. Well, I'll definitely pop the link to it. I think it's a great Facebook group. Okay, so so you've done now the karate thing. What is the first business that you started after that?
Oh wow! Well, the funny thing is, I started one before me and a lad started one in a different part of the UK, and that was actually a window cleaning business. We both started that, and the funny thing with that is it was actually going really well, because we were both kind of happy chappies, and we sort of did door to door with that as well. I even forgot I did that, but we were canvassing as well to build the window cleaning business as well. So because we were both kind of like friendly and like likable, I think we did quite well, and we built quite a decent sized round. But what happened with that is you got to remember we're in England, so the weather's not great. So it came to like we started in sort of the back end of autumn.
Yes.
So we were started to build the business right into winter. So as soon as we built all these customers, we probably had say 100 and odd customers or something. So it was a nice little round.
Yeah.
But most of them stopped paying us and stopped wanting us, because the windows was icy and stuff. We had the snow and all that, so they didn't want them cleaning. So we didn't take that into account, and we just couldn't sort of keep it running. So we kind of went bust with that. So that's the only other sort of business that I had attempted before. Now I'm just looking at consulting. So I do offer sort of coaching, but not like I don't have any sort of coaching package, like a high ticket package or anything like that. I just literally offer phone calls, our sessions to do with any part of sales, whether it's cold calling, whether it's rapport building, whether it's objection handling, anything. But I do offer an icebreaker, so like a half, to see if I could help you or see if it would work. So I do that.
That's very, very awesome. I also believe in those type of things, because I call mine a clarity call. So I would have a clarity call with the people to see if it's a fit for me, in my company, and vice versa, because I give marketing, I build funnels and I train people marketing strategies. And I mean, if you're not a fit for each other, it's not going to work. With your icebreaker calls, do you find that you actually get people that want to be part of your community, but you just don't feel the fit the other way around. You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't had all that much interest in it recently. Maybe it's because of the current
Yeah.
situation, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you say, I'm not one of these people that's just desperate for money. If I don't think I can help them, I'll just be honest with them. I'll say, look, well, I think you might be a fit for my Facebook group, or maybe you should check out some of my podcast episodes. Might help you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, rather than, oh yeah, money, money, money.
Yeah, no, I love that you say that, because it is so true. It's about who you serve, right? If you solve their problems and you
Absolutely.
genuinely want to help them, then the money just comes automatically. You know, you don't have to force. You don't have to force it. Okay,
Yeah.
so what is your mission at the moment? Like, what is your goals? I know the coronavirus is a little bit hard and it hit you a little bit as well with your salsa. But what is your mission now, you know, in this 2020 here?
Yeah, I mean, it has, especially for me, because I'm a big fan of the gym and doing sort of other things like martial arts classes. So it's really has affected me, just me personal as well, what I do socially.
Oh yeah.
But my goals going forward, I really want to build my YouTube channel. So I've got quite a decent amount of subscribers now. So I'm going to be doing, because what I've done so far is sales tips. So I've done them separately. So I've done like 60-second sales tips. I've done quite a few of those.
Nice.
And the idea was to do martial arts videos as well. But what I've decided to do is I've already done a couple of them now. So I've done, like I did a nunchucks one. So I was doing like some basic nunchucks.
Nice.
But I do a sales tip as well. So it's a combination in one video. So I'll do a sales tip and then I'll do some demonstration like a self-defense or punches or strikes or whatever.
That is very cool. I need to go check that out. I haven't seen that yet. No wonder you've been growing your YouTube channel so fast. If you know, if it's like little, I can just see you going. So what would be like the salsa? Okay, John, you have to demonstrate us one. So what would that be? Do you just do that and then what is?
Well, I mean, I can't. I've not got enough room in here, but yeah. So the basic ones that I've been through is like you've got a figure eight. So you're just making a figure eight in the air with the nunchuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to get used to doing it with both arms. You're always going to have one stronger arm, but you need to get used to sort of trying to even it out. So you do it with both sides. I also looked at a figure, like it's like an X. So you cross, you make a cross.
Okay.
But you can do that.
I'll knock myself out.
Yeah. You could do these with a stick as well. So if you use the sticks, so you can use the same sort of techniques with with the stick as well. So to start with, it was just literally a figure eight or an X.
Okay,
and
cool.
it's always about striking. So you've got to put effort into it because you are going to be hitting somebody with it. So.
And then what do you say when you do that on your YouTube video?
Well, I can't remember the sales tip that I said, but I started off and I said the sales tip and I showed a few different. I've got like about 3 or 4 different types of nunchuck. I've got like a long, heavy wooden one, so you'd use that for kind of strength and muscle building. And I've got shorter, lightweight ones which are faster. And then I've got like a chain and a plastic one, which is better for tricks and stuff. So I've got a few different types.
I'm asking you out on this because, first of all, I think it's fascinating. And second of all, I think it is like the cleverest idea of actually getting information into people's head, because you're not going to forget that. Let's be honest, you know, it's
yeah, I mean, the beauty is, I mean, there's so much martial arts out there. You go on YouTube and there's thousands of them, and you could get the same with sales tips. There's probably thousands, but there's not. There's both of them.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. That's what I'm trying to make unique.
Okay, we are definitely linking your channel to this. That is something I need to go and see that's for sure. All right. So what do you think is the reason why you're successful? What attributes your success? What is that something that you feel make you successful?
Well, I mean, you hear about this time and time again, and it's definitely shows with me or happened to me is they've had a lot of sort of not troubling times, but they've been through a lot. You know what I mean? To get there, it's kind of easier to say, "Oh, I've had enough. I throw the towel in," but you've got to just keep going and just facing the challenges and overcoming them, or even redirecting. If it's not working, there's no point keep pushing and pushing. Just don't give up though, because that's what many people do. If they're hitting the brick walls and it's not working out, they throw the towel in instead of sort of divert, like take a diversion and move around it, or just take a completely different direction, but just don't stop.
And you know, this is a thing that I've experienced on my journey. Now, I've been at it for like many years now. And there was points where I'm like, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not doing this. And I would feel like that maybe at 8 o'clock at night. And I would wake up the next morning. I'm like, never, I will never work for a boss again. This will just have to work. And, you know, you just keep pushing forward. So, and the thing that kept me pushing is just your deeper why. Do you think that is a thing that also keeps you, you know, just really understanding the reason why you don't want to be employed by somebody else?
Yeah. I mean, it was very sort of obvious to me that I don't like working for people. Even though I kept falling back into it for many, many years, I've always hated having a boss looming over me and paying me X amount every week. I've always hated it. It's always never liked it. But I think for me, one of the sort of plus points that I had, or the advantage I had, was spending, even though it was only a couple of years, I was in the military, and I got this kind of raw grit and persistence, and they teach you that. You just sort of one track mind. It's like the marching, isn't it? You just march and you keep marching.
Nice.
That sort of mentality is sort of drilled into you, and you just don't give up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is fantastic. And as entrepreneurs, that's exactly what you need. You know, like that drilling persistence type thing. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your next level in your business. So you say now you're coaching people, you know, do you see, John, in the future, do you see yourself in like 6 months having like more coaching students, or, you know, a coaching program maybe? Because I think you've got fantastic skills, and I think you're a really good teacher, just like listening to your videos and things like that. So I'm kind of secretly hoping that you will put something together to sell, you know?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it is something that I've been considering, and I kind of put a small thing together. I don't really know how to build a coaching program, should we say. That's something that I definitely need to look into. It is one project, but I've got so much going on, and I've got so many different, and I need to kind of, I mean, my podcast has taken off more than I expected it to, and that is taking up quite a lot of time, is interviewing and guesting on other shows, and like planning and booking people in, and it's quite time consuming, as you know. But
I know.
So that's taken up probably quite a bit more time than I thought, as well as sales calls. So between my podcast and sales calls, I literally haven't got any time to do anything else. So I don't know. It is something that I'd like to do, but it is kind of on a back burner at the moment, because I'm literally doing too many sales calls at the moment.
Well,
unless that changes.
There's not a thing as too many. I mean, at least you're making money in this crazy time. So
Yeah. I mean, it like I say, is on the agenda, and also one of my other goals is to write the Sales Samurai book as well. So that's another goal. But yeah, this could be in the next few years. So I'm not thinking it in the next 12 months, or maybe in the next few years.
I like that idea. I'll buy that book. Just let me know when it comes out one day. Well, I'll probably know, but yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've basically covered all the questions. So I've got a question for you about like helping other people. Or let me put it this way. So for this podcast is really aimed for people wanting to start a business, or they're in their business but they're struggling. So, but the question that I want to ask you is like, for entrepreneurs that are sitting on the fence, they're really not taking those first steps because they're scared of failure or whatever. What is the advice that you would give them?
Well, this is kind of not easy, but because I'm a salesperson anyway, but I would definitely recommend any business owner or entrepreneur or whatever you're planning on doing is learn some sales. Just learn some, because you are going to, even if so let's say you're a life coach and you're starting to build your own business. If you have not got any sales skills at all, you are going to find it hard, because you're trying to sell yourself, aren't you?
Yes, exactly.
So unless you've got some sales ability, you can be the best life coach in the world, but nobody's going to join your program. So I would advise anybody, no matter what industry you're in, is to learn sales.
That's true. And storytelling, because storytelling is good. If you learn how to tell a story, then
absolutely, storytelling ties into it, doesn't it? Yeah, a lot of good salespeople are storytellers or speakers, or so. Yeah, it definitely ties in.
Yeah,
definitely.
John, this has been fantastic. I'm very impressed about your YouTube ching chong ching ching things. I'm gonna have to go check that out. My
Thank you.
husband's got some. What do you call those things? Nunchuckers, huh? He's got
Yeah,
some. He's got a pair, and my 6-year-old likes to play with it, and I'm just gonna. Because I'm just waiting for that, to knock on the head with those things.
yeah. Well,
But
that's the one. That's the demonstration. I've uploaded a nunchucks one now, and yeah, I'm going to do lots of different ones as well. But it's again, that's another thing that takes time as well. So it's trying to allocate time to do all
yeah,
these different things, isn't it?
yeah, no, that's true. That's definitely true. But I appreciate your time on this interview. Thank you very, very much. And we will
It's been a
drop John's
pleasure.
links in here, his Facebook, anything that John will give me after this, I will definitely drop it in there. And then you guys can reach out to him. I strongly recommend joining his Facebook group. It is fantastic. Thank you, John. I appreciate you.
Not a problem. Don't forget the Success Breed Success show as well.
That is, oh, I love that saying. That's awesome. Success breeds success. I love that. Thank you so
No,
much.
the show. No, the
Oh,
podcast. That's what my
oh,
podcast is
the
called,
show.
isn't it?
Well, that's the thing, because I was like, oh, that's a really cool thing. Yes, we'll definitely drop that as well. And I mean, are you always looking for guests? Because I mean, people can always reach
Well,
out.
I am, but I'm literally booked for the next few months, so I'm not looking for anybody till probably autumn now. I'm pretty stacked out for the rest of the summer sort of thing. So.
Awesome. Well done.
Thank
That's
you.
really impressive. Huh, look at you, huh? Getting popular with your podcast too.
I'm
That's
trying.
all right. Thanks so much, John.
Thanks a lot. Speak
Bye.
again soon. Cheers. Bye.